Conventional wisdom says that if you're trying to save money, you need to first limit what you spend in order to have something left over which you can then save. And this is the methodology under which most budgeting methods operate. They have you track all of your expenses and figure out how much you need to put towards each different category, and then whatever is left over after all your expenses are paid is what you can save. However, not every budgeting method works like that. And today we're going to be covering one of those kind of budgets. Hey everyone, Daniel here, and welcome to Next Level Life, a channel where you can learn all about investing, debt, retirement, and many other financial topics besides, because let's face it, the schools aren't going to teach it for us. So if any of those topics sound interesting to you, or if you want to learn how to better handle your money and have more financial freedom, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell next to my name to be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to further support the growth of this channel, you can check out some of the links I've left down in the description below, which includes a 30-day free trial of Audible and a list of some books on money that I'd recommend checking out. Or you can share this video with a friend and leave a comment below letting me know what kind of topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. So today, as you can no doubt tell from the title, we're going to be discussing the reverse budget, also sometimes known as the pay yourself first budget. You'll notice some similarities between this budgeting method and some of the other ones that I've covered on this channel because the principles behind it are similar. The idea behind the reverse budget is to figure out what you're saving first, then make your savings automatic, and then blow the rest on whatever's left over on whatever you feel like guilt-free because you've already saved what you needed to save. This makes it a much more hands-off budget than most other methods, but it also makes it easy to combine with some of the other methods. And in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 3 steps to setting up a reverse budget, as well as talk about some things to keep in mind if you decide to use this budgeting method. Let's get started. So the 3 steps to setting up a reverse budget are as follows. First, figure out what you're saving for. That's very important. Second, figure out how much you need to save to meet your goals and make those savings automatic. And third, spend whatever you have left over in your checking account without feeling any guilt. Now, studies have repeatedly shown that saving, just for the sake of saving, for most of us, almost never works, because without a purpose in mind for your savings, it's very easy to justify using that money for something else. After all, as far as we know, at the time, the money wasn't really going towards anything, more than maybe a vague idea of a rainy day fund or something similar. Which is important, don't get me wrong, but like I said, because it's not really pressing or it doesn't feel pressing, it's easy to justify making some changes every once in a while. And then a lot of times every once in a while becomes a little bit more than once in a while. That's why figuring out what you're saving for is so important. You need that purpose, or at least most of us do. And we don't want to just use vague titles like travel. I mean, that's certainly better than nothing, but it doesn't really paint a vivid picture. You want to dream in high definition, like Chris Hogan's always talking about. Where are some of the places you would want to travel to? What experiences would you want to have in those places? How much do they actually cost? The great thing about asking all these questions is not only does it oftentimes get you excited about the possibility of doing what you're thinking about doing, but it also gets you to start researching online and trying to find ways to do what you want for less. And I can say from personal experience, it's actually quite amazing how much money you can save, especially on something like traveling the world if you do some research beforehand. There are tons of blogs out there that are dedicated to just giving you ideas on how to save money when traveling. And I can say from personal experience, many of them are very, very helpful. So it's very important to do the research and figure out how much these things would actually cost for you. Don't just estimate on this last question. I know so many people who have tried to estimate how much their dream would actually cost and basically talk themselves out of even trying to reach their dream right there on the spot because they estimated without doing any research. And their estimate was way too high. Trust me, do your due diligence, do your research, you won't regret it. I would also recommend breaking down your goals into smaller, bite-sized chunks if at all possible. In my experience, doing this generally makes the goals, especially the longer-term ones, seem less overwhelming and it's easier to get started. One idea would be to break them down into short-term, intermediate-term, and long-term goals. Short-term goals would be anything you do in the next 5 years, whether that would be traveling to another country, buying a new car, or whatever floats your boat, so long as it's within the next 5 years. Intermediate goals would be a little bit longer, in this case maybe 5 to 15 years, and longer-term goals would be anything above that 15 years. And these numbers aren't hard and fast rules. You can use whatever time frames work best for you. I'm just throwing a few random numbers out there. Or even use an entirely different system that would work better for you. Ultimately, that's all that matters. The point is, once you have those goals written down, it becomes much easier to figure out how much you need to save per month to be able to achieve those goals. And once you're satisfied with your list, you can automate your savings to make sure you hit your goals. And after that, again, you can spend whatever's left without really worrying because you already have your future goals covered. As I said, that's the upside to using the reverse budget. It's very low maintenance, at least compared to some of the other budgeting methods that I've covered, such as the zero-based budgeting method. And since the reverse budget is mostly automatic, or at least the important parts of the budget are automatic, there shouldn't need to be a whole lot more than tweaks along the way as your priorities change, because of course they will. So as you can tell, the theory is very similar to the automatic budget that I've covered earlier on this channel. The downside, or possible downside to using this budget, or a similar one, is that you could possibly save too little or too much and put yourself in a position where you either don't have enough money when you reach retirement, or that you aren't able to meet your bills in the present. So obviously this budget's going to require a little bit of trial and error. So if you're just starting to use this budget, there's nothing wrong with being conservative while you're starting out and then increasing that amount that you're saving to meet your goals as you go along. Many people do this by starting to save a certain percentage of their paycheck every month that they know they can save and then increasing that by 1% every month until they get to a point where they're not comfortable saving anymore. And that's a good tip if you're feeling a bit nervous about using this budget, but you want to give it a try. So that's how the reverse budget works. As always, if there are any other types of budgets that you want me to cover, let me know in the comments section below. But that'll do it for me today. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell next to my name so you'll be notified of all my future uploads. I generally upload every single Monday, and if you have a friend that would be interested in this kind of content, be sure to share it with them. Let's really get this information out there and start our own financial revolution.